Morning all, welcome back to the channel. Bit of a cold, damp, rainy day today in Hebden Bridge. As you can see, we're outside the old police station on Hope Street. I'm going to take you back to quite a long time ago. It's Sunday the 25th of February 1990. Me and my pal were working a 6-2 evening. It was the last of our 6-2 evening shifts. We did 7 in a row. So that's 6 at night till 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, it was a very, very windy evening and turned out to be a very, very windy night. And as time went on, we got called out to quite a few trees that had come down due to the high winds. I can remember one on Savile Road, which is just outside Hebden Bridge at Mytham, and it blocked the road off. We eventually got the council, Calderdale Council, to come up with a flatback Ford Transit van, and they chopped it up and cleared the road. We'd only just got back, and then there were another one down in, I think there were 2 down up at Peckett Wood on the A6033. That caused a bit of a rumpus as well. So what we decided to do, we were getting a bit dangerous. So what we decided to do was just to come back to the Nick and just park up in the backyard. Like I said, it was getting quite windy. Land Rovers being Land Rovers, it's just a tin box, about as aerodynamic as it's a tin box. So we came back, parked up in the backyard, and just as we were parking up, the lads from Paradise Indian Takeaway, which is on New Road, the door behind me, that's their back door. And as we were parking up, they came out and they said they'd been really quiet due to the high winds and there weren't many people about. So they gave us a big box full of Indian goodies. So it happened quite a lot, did that. We used to get the lads from Takeaway at the back end of the night, if they hadn't got rid of all the stuff, they came round and gave us some food for our supper. So we went into the Nick. You see there, behind the canteen there, or the old canteen. Put the television on and start getting tucked into our Indian food. Now Sundays, I can't remember which channel it was. I think it might have been BBC Two. They always used to seem to have one of these Bollywood films playing, which they were quite good films, very, very big productions with lots of actors and extras and everything. And they went on for hours and hours. They had everything on there. There were a couple that fell in love, and some of the trials and tribulations that brought. There were obviously people from different families that didn't get on. So there were all sorts of dramas going on these films. We'd have 9 times out of 10 there'd be a murder, there'd be car chases and gun battles, and they did seem to go on. They were quite entertaining. And then there'd be a car chase, and then it seems like hours and hours later the couple finally got together and got married, and there were a big a big load of songs and dancing, and everybody were getting involved in it all. But one of these films were on, and we had watched them before in the past, and you could start watching it and then get called out to deal with a job which took 2 or 3 hours. And when you came back, it was the same film that we were on, and it didn't take much sort of deducing what had gone on. So we sort of sat watching that a bit and just chatted about looking forward to our days off. The days off would have started on a Monday, the following day. So that's what we're doing. And then, like I say, we were due off at 2 o'clock. And then round about, it must have been about 10 to 1, we had a radio message first asking for our location. And the phone went, and it was our control room up at, I think we were based up at Halifax at the time. Can you get yourself down to Halifax? There's been quite a serious incident. The initial reports are that it's an explosion, and can you get yourselves down there for a briefing at Richmond Close police station at Halifax? So they wouldn't really tell us anything else, what had caused the explosion. So we packed everything up, got our coats on, jumped into the Land Rover, and set off down the road behind me, which is Croft Street, in the Land Rover. It was a big sort of mystery at the time that what this explosion was, so I started singing the Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour as we set off down the road. Yep, so we came out of Croft Street onto Albert Street, and just turned around, set off down Albert Street, turning left at the junction there onto the A646, and on our way down to Halifax. The winds were still high, so I had to really sort of concentrate on the steering. The Land Rover were getting blown all over the place, so off we went on our jolly way down to the mystery briefing. We finally arrived at Halifax Police Station. We all piled into the briefing room, and Detective Chief Superintendent John Conboy was leading. He got straight to the point. He said it was an explosion at the Army Careers Office on 62 New Road. He said that thankfully, initial inquiries look, there's been no casualties. We've got the Army bomb disposal units there. We've got other officers doing searches, and we've got other specialist units on the way from different parts of the country. He said it's not a gas explosion, and we can say that it's definitely a terrorist attack, a terrorist bomb that's caused the explosion. We were briefed on our duties, and for me and my pal, we just take the Land Rover to the top of Prescott Street at the junction of Clare Road, which is behind us here. Now this is the top of Prescott Street where we were. Let's let you have a look around. We've got the old swimming pool there, and basically what we do, we'd contain the area, and just a bit further down, if you see the building there, down on the bottom side there, that was the Duke of Wellington's regiment drill hall at Halifax, where the Territorial Army were based, along with Army cadets. So they'd done an initial search there. They'd got the caretaker out who lived on this road. I'll just show you where the caretaker lived. Yeah, that's behind me there. That's the drill hall. The caretaker had a little sort of apartment, living quarters there. He looked after the place. The bomb disposal unit had been in there just to check that there weren't any secondary devices. That was our fear. What the tactic was, is to set off an initial explosion and then work out where the security services, police, ambulance, fire brigade would muster or liaise, and then set off another one. So that was one of the fears that we had. So yeah, we were at the top of Prescott Street up there to Clare Road in the Land Rover, sealing the area off. We had other officers all round, basically keeping everything, keeping a secure and sterile area. And yeah, that's the side of the drill hall there. Right, so moving along at the side of the drill hall, you see the houses there. These were all evacuated due to the fear that another bomb may have gone off, another secondary device. And there were officers all on here, just keeping it all secure and keeping the people out of the way. We did have the brief that we did have was that obviously the press are going to get involved, and if they did come to questions while we're at the scene, is just to refer them on to the West Yorkshire Police media section. I think we got somebody from the local Halifax Evening Courier approach us in the Land Rover asking us if we had information, and I can just remember saying that it's probably them that'll probably hear it before us, because the tactic with the terror groups was to, if they're going to claim responsibility, was to get in touch with the local press or the national press and claim that they'd set the bomb off, but there was no warnings, there were no claims of responsibility. So really we're just down to basic investigations. Right, we're now at New Road. The place is it's totally different to how it was. It was just like a little house. We've had quite a lot of renovations here. It's all, I will put a photograph on how it used to be. But it looks like it's been turned into apartments. So yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll do that for you. It was the end house here, or the end building here. That was the Army Careers Office at New Road. Right. As the hours went on, me and my pal, we took it in turns to go and stretch our legs, and he came on while I was manning the Land Rover, and he came back about half an hour later to say that the men in the long trench coats had arrived. The nickname was Box, which is a nickname for MI5, the military intelligence, and also Branch, which was Special Branch, and it looked like they'd come up from London, so they were here to assist us in the enquiry. So yeah. Yeah, a good few hours into containing the area. Like I said, we took it in turns of going for a walk, a bit of a stretch of us legs, and I walked down this road towards the drill hall. And as I got round this corner here, the caretaker from the drill hall popped his head round and said, did I fancy a brew? So he came back shortly after, and we just stood chatting on the corner of this road here, drinking our cups of tea. Now I've been my career and I've drunk some tea in some right odd places, and it's amazing where people sort of pop out from. pop out from with a tray full of tea and biscuits. So we were stood here just chatting away and discussing the incident, and with a nice brew of tea. Of course, with it being a suspected bomb or some secondary device, that we had a radio silence imposed, and every so often we had a sergeant come round in a beat car, just to make sure we were all right, and updating us on anything that had been brought up, and just asking us if we'd anything for the incident room which had been set up. So yeah, that's how we carried on. But nice pot of tea in the middle of every drama. And later on, it's quite bizarre really how these things happen. A police van turned up, and they opened the back doors, and there were a tray of cakes. I just couldn't understand it. It's like a strange dream sometimes of these jobs. But it was a friendly baker that must have found out that there'd been some incident, and he sent us a lot of cakes down. So we're chomping away at tea and cakes. It was just like I say, quite surreal, funny old world. All right then. Yeah. So after the bomb on the New Road, the Army Careers Office closed down, and the business or the operation of recruiting lads and lasses to join the army moved to the Halifax Drill Hall. Even nowadays that's gone. I think it's a private business in there now. So that's where you should go. That's where you should have gone if you wanted to join the army. We're all moved to the Halifax Drill Hall, which is behind me. A bit of history behind there. That's where the local lads join the local regiments to go off to war in the First and the Second World War. So yeah, there you go. Okay then, take care now. Bye bye. Right, still at the scene. I think it was about 9:30. A sergeant came round with a clipboard asking how long what time we'd come on duty. And when we told it was 6 o'clock the previous evening, we'd done like 15 and a half, nearly 16-hour shift. Initially he thought, well, you should have gone off hours ago, but eventually we did get relieved. We set off back down the valley. By this time the storm, the wind had abated a bit, and there'd been quite a lot of damage done, storm damage, as well as the terrorist bomb. And as we come through Mythen Road, the building behind us, it has been replaced since, but we'd seen that the wind had been that strong that it'd taken off the roof of the old building behind us. So it weren't just the bomb that caused damage that night. So we headed off back to Ebden Bridge. Right, I've got a bit of a summary for you for the bomb incident in Halifax at the recruiting office. Now I've placed a photograph on. It's an old photograph of the building as it was a few years ago, and as you saw as we did the video at the scene, it's now been totally renovated and it's unrecognisable. They've turned it into one big building, I think, and it looks like it's going to be either office space or apartment dwellings. Later on that day, the Monday, I got up from my sleep in the afternoon, and we just watched BBC News, and it showed you some images from the scene, some footage. And lo and behold, my old pal were there with a brush, sweeping the street. Obviously obtaining any possible evidence from the bomb blast, the glass, or any other bits and pieces that could have given us some evidence, like part of the bomb or anything like that. And he just managed to get on the BBC News with his sweeping skills. As it turned out, it was obviously one of the Irish Republican terror organisations, and how that could have been the IRA, the Irish Republican Army, the INLA, the Irish National Liberation Army, or another splinter group called the PIRA, the Provisional IRA. It was strongly believed it was PIRA, the Provisionals that had planted the bomb, and up till that day, that's February 1990. There'd been 19 mainland attacks of a similar nature, with some resulting in deaths and very serious injuries, and there were more or less sort of soft, unguarded targets, same as the recruiting officers. Quite a few recruiting officers and other government buildings that had been attacked, and there was no witnesses, and luckily there were no injuries, and nobody claimed responsibility. But it was, like I say, it was strongly believed it was PIRA who were responsible for it. No doubt, if there would have been injuries, they would have been claiming it as a victory. But I think it. Looking at it, I think it was like an accidental activation of the bomb, and I'm pretty sure that it was the high winds that did save the day for that incident. It was obviously meant for the staff, the recruiting staff coming on the following morning. That's the recruiting sergeant and his couple of squaddies there that were probably just turning up for work at the office, and then activating the bomb as soon as they entered the building. And they said it's a very similar attack on a Leicester recruiting office a few weeks previous, and I initially thought it was a letter bomb, but the experts deemed it was called what's called as a pipe bomb. And now basically it's just a pipe, like a metal or a plastic pipe, stuffed full of explosives. For example, nitroglycerine, plastic explosives, Semtex, or any other form of explosive. And what they do, they make up the bomb with a detonator inside, packed with explosives, and they've been known to surround the device with nails, bolts, any sort of shrapnel, to cause even more injury and damage to whoever it's aimed for. And how they detonate it, now it could be a trembler, as soon as it's fiddled with or disturbed, the trembler will activate the detonator and cause the explosion. Or it could have been a mercury tilt switch, which is basically mercury, because it's a metal. Once that's been tilted or disturbed, it'll run down to the main points, the wires that's linked to to cause the detonation. In the past, they have used timer devices, which is a simple alarm clock device, which, well, once set, the alarm will obviously trigger, which will cause the explosion. Later on, there were mobile phones which they strapped to the side of the device, and they can call the number from a distance away, and the thing will go off. And that's, I mean, I've put a photograph on. I'm no explosive expert, but I've just got the basic knowledge there, and it's I've put a photograph on about what I've just covered there. If you can add anything to it, if you're a bit more knowledgeable than I am, I'm sure there are some experts out there who have a bit more in-depth knowledge of the of how the explosions are called. It is called an IED, an improvised explosive device. Yeah, so I think that's about it. I'll just have a check through, because like I say, I make notes, because it's at least I can sort of educate you as best I can. But like I said, it was the high winds. Luckily, the wind caused the device to fall from wherever. I'm pretty sure it probably placed it in the letterbox, but they are quite unstable, and there's quite a few people blown themselves up, either making these things up or setting them on the site itself. They're not the most stable of devices. So really the staff there, the recruitment sergeant and his lads and lasses were saved there by the high winds of that night. Yeah, so I think I've covered everything there. I'll leave it with you. If you are enjoying these little videos that I'm doing, please leave a comment and like and share, and it'll be that'll be great. Right, okay then. So keep watching. I've got some more coming up that I've got planned about the illustrious adventures of me and my pal out on the beat back in the 80s and 90s and into the 2000s. Okay then, thanks very much for watching. Take care now. Look after yourself. Ta-ra now.